This is Morning Express, and thank you for staying with us. And it's time for Tech Central. On Thursdays, we look at technology and innovations that are making way, well, here in the country and also globally. And today, joining me, we have Charity Wanjiku, who is Head of Operations at Strauss Energy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We also have Ken Miheso, who's a market researcher with Strauss Energy. Thank you again for joining us. Now, let's start with, first of all, the contraption that I see right next to you, maybe by explaining what that is.
Well, the contraption we see here is a 2-in-1 roofing tile that has solar cells integrated in it. So it roofs your home and powers it at the same time. So you get it right the first time. That's what we say. So you don't have to roof and then put up solar panels. When you use our steamer tile, that's what we call it, it does both at the same time.
So let me get this right. The steamer tile is both a tile and a solar panel.
That's right.
Okay. And does it come as it is?
It comes as it is, and we have several. We have different, this is the smallest size that we have. It's an 8-watt tile. We have different sizes, 24, 35, 50 watt, 150, which are used mostly for commercial purposes. But this is very, it resonates with a lot of people for residential purposes because it looks like a typical tile.
Okay. All right, Ken. This being a tile, I mean, is it any different from the tiles that we use, apart from the fact that it has the panel?
Yes. In terms of durability, the material that was used in setting this up can be able to withstand more lifetime. In terms of the normal tile takes between 10 to 15 years. This one goes beyond 30 years, 50 years. And it's still functionable and it's still strong, and you can still have it on your roof. Whether the wind comes, the rain comes, the snow comes, you can still have it on your roof. And beyond it just being a roofing tile, we're looking at the intrinsic values of aesthetics, the aspect of you can have different colors, whatever color you want to have, and then the surface is soft and smooth. You know, the whole issue of how does my roof look like? You know, the clients or customers out there, the real estate is changing. The customer now is empowered, is looking at, does my roof look the way I want it to look? So this is more than just a tile. Okay,
I was just about to say that, and maybe Charity, you'd let us know that you said they're different colors. You can get it in different colors. Can you choose the colors that you want?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, we have a range of up to 6 colors.
So does this, I know with the national grid that we have, sometimes you have what they call the backup system, whereby when power goes off, the solar batteries kick in. Does this operate the same?
Now, technically, it can. However, what we're looking at is actually making this perhaps your primary. You can actually afford to make it your primary source of power. What I mean by that is that if you roof with our steamer tile, you can generate more than 2 times what you require for your house. Yes, so you're able to have power sufficient for your requirements in the house, and even extra, which you can sell back to the national grid. So basically, where we started from is we're looking at reduction of the energy gap that we have in Kenya, and I guess in Africa at large, by expanding the generation base. I mean, we appreciate the attempt so far of having capital-intensive projects. However, this is it's a way of just expanding the generation base to the common citizen, so that you, me, Ken, and everybody else, whoever has a roof over their head, is able to generate some power and just reduce the energy gap that we have in Kenya.
So if I get this right, Ken, it means as opposed to how we're used to having the roof done, then you get solar panels with the backup system and whatever. This now comes 2-in-1. You tile and it is a solar panel.
It's a solar panel, you tile it. You know, the market has, the issue has been someone gets a roof from the different competitors, and then once they want to look into the energy needs, they look for a solar panel. Now we're looking at, why can't you roof your house and have the solar embedded on it and have extra power that you can wire it back to the grid and get some money off it? Of course, one of the discussions we used to have when we're looking for the name is can we go for money tile? Because it's a tile that generates money.
It's the only roof that gives you return on investment.
Yes, it's the only roof virtually, because when you look at it from the perspective of, I've been paying cash to KPLC when I've been using power. Now look at it this way: with the new policy in place that you can do net metering, KPLC will be paying back cash to me because I'll be generating power and selling to them. So we're looking at solving the needs. The need is there.
That's
the
right.
energy power, the energy demand in Africa as a continent is going to triple. Or go to 4 times, quadruple in the next 15 years. Do we have a supply for that? There are aspects of hydro. Hydro has not been efficient and sufficient so far, and we're looking at depletion of natural resources. We're still looking at how to build our forest covers. The water is going down whenever we have a drought and famine all across Africa. So we're looking at what is the solution that we'll offer that is beyond the natural issues that we're facing in terms of water and hydro and roofing.
I'm interested in knowing how this puts money back in my pocket, because that's one of the things you've mentioned. How do I gain from it? Apart from the fact that now I'm not paying into KPLC because I'm using solar energy.
Well, 2 ways. A, it affords you savings. Being a 2-in-1, it cuts on infrastructure and labor. So you don't have to put up your roofing first and then buy panels. So you get it right the first time. So that's on the cost savings, which amount to up to 30% of what it would have cost you initially.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a significant saving.
That's a significant saving, and everybody wants to hear about savings right now. Secondly, we're looking at, as Ken has mentioned, there's the net metering policy that we are waiting to be in place, which allows you to send power back to the national grid on credit.
That's when you have more than you need.
If you have more than you need, you can send it to back to the national grid and get paid. Well, it's a credit to your account, really. It's not cash in your pocket, but it's a credit to your account. So your bills are less. So say you have bills of 3,000, 5,000, I don't know, the typical bill. If it saves you up to 25% of that, if you're paying 3,500 and next month you pay 2,500.
That's money in your pocket.
For 12 months, for 5 years, for 10 years, it's a saving.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, looking at it, maybe let's just turn it to the other side, because I know one of the other concerns that many people have is aesthetics and just being practical. We've talked about the color. So generally speaking, when you have this style, you can get it in different colors, but all that will change the color is what? The frame?
The substrate, yes. We call it the substrate.
That's who?
Substrate.
Substrate. Okay, that one. But now, looking at the inside, how would you deal with this now by the time you have, say, 50, 100 tiles? I don't know how many tiles one would use for the house, but by the time you have all these wires, how does that work out?
Oh, it's simple. It's a very simple technology, I must say. These are plug and play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tiles next to each other are just plugged to each other like that. Okay, right now it's just that we have a safety mechanism, but ideally it should short. If I do that right now.
If you do that.
Yes,
okay.
but
I'm assuming maybe it's because it's not receiving any power right now.
No.
Okay.
But it's a safety mechanism. We've put that into place. So tiles are just connected to each other. And if you look through our profile, you'll see we have a demo house that shows the inside of it.
Right.
How they're all connected. So they can, depending on the design, the electrical design, it can be in series or in parallel. So the engineers figure that out and advise the client accordingly.
Okay. And now once it's connected, what is this connected to? Because I've seen certain, well, those would be old-fashioned, where you have huge batteries, literally like car batteries, which they charge, and whenever you need now, that kicks in.
Well, those are options that we have as well. So all these are connected and going to a main cable that goes into the accessories, which are the inverter, the charge controller, because this is DC. Solar energy is DC, and most of our equipment is AC.
Correct.
Direct current,
And
alternating current.
Yes.
So it has to be converted to supply into your house. So from the main cable, it goes into the accessories, into the inverter, and then if you want to store in your house, then you store it in a battery.
Okay.
However, we're also working with a model where you don't have to store, because solar is not expensive. Batteries are expensive.
Right.
Yes. So we're looking at the model where instead of storing in your house in batteries, you send it back to the grid, and the grid becomes your storage.
How do you send it back to the grid?
Well, it's a system it's a technology, a system that needs to be in place once the policy is in place. But meanwhile, you can store it in your house in batteries, or perhaps supply to people around you. I don't know how the utility company will take that. But if you have more than you need, then
you can supply to your neighbors. But I guess then that would have to be an agreement that you make also with Kenya Power.
That's right.
To ensure that it meets all legal requirements.
That's right.
All right. In case you're watching from home or wherever, do let us know if you have any questions for Charity and Ken. And what we're looking at here is technology where you have building material. Rather than buying building material, then you get a solar panel. You have two-in-one, as you have called it. Now, once this has been installed, or maybe let me start with when you're using a solar panel, you normally have a certain number which you'll put on the roof, which is very visible and sometimes, to be honest, an eyesore.
That's right.
Now, with this particular technology, how many do I need?
Okay, I will answer that because my background is architecture. So having seen lots of houses that are beautiful in estates, and then solar panel is plugged to the top of the roof, as you said, rightly said, it is an eyesore. So what we've done is done our best to come with an aesthetic, an elegant looking tile that fits the bill for both. So it doesn't glare at you that is a solar panel. But it actually is interesting to see that your entire roof does generate power for you. So this is, well, the ochre color, as we call it, which resonates a lot with people because of traditional roofing tiles.
Yes, the clay tiles that we're used to using.
What happens is that it merges with, I mean, because it's the entire roof that has all the panels, all the cells, so it doesn't look like an afterthought, if I may say, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
It looks like it was thought about and it's in sequence and there's a good progression to it. The technology we're using is called BIPV, which is Building Integrated Photovoltaics. Photovoltaics here means light, basically. We're using the light, and one of the benefits of using this tile is that we're not heavily dependent on the heat, on how hot a day is, but
the light.
Okay, we can see some of the building material that has been used, and well, I must say that it looks a lot like that particular one. Looks a lot like the Mabati one next to it.
That's right.
But ideally, now with these tiles having been put together, the main color I would see, I am guessing, is black. Because the black part is bigger.
It's a bigger surface.
That's right.
It's a bigger
But when you look at a larger surface, it doesn't quite tell.
Actually, it doesn't look bad at all.
It doesn't look bad at all.
It looks great.
Yes, it looks nice.
So that's a school we're doing in a disadvantaged area in Muranga, where we are powering their computer lab. And yeah, I mean, there's some social impact to that as well.